The last calculator in my collection that we are going to look at isn't a musical or a game calculator, but it is very unique because I do believe that it is the only talking Casio calculator from this era, though not the world's first talking calculator. That accolade likely goes to the 1979 Texas Instruments language translator, that despite looking like a calculator, didn't actually have calculator functions. It appeared to be based on the technology used in the well-known Texas Instruments Speak and Spell toy, though specifically designed for translating between two languages depending on the cartridge in use. It was famously featured in Kraftwerk's Pocket Calculator track and was also used by the band when performing the song live. A few years after the Texas Instrument language translator was released, Casio gave us the TA-1000 voice calculator, a calculator that took the clock and calendar functions used in many of their previous models and added a talking feature to it. It seems to be a one-off model, as information about it is hard to find, plus despite searching extensively, I could only find one mention of it in a French magazine. Strangely, it makes no appearance in any of the official Casio sales brochures that are available on the Casio Calculator website, suggesting that this may have been a rather short-lived model. As for a release date, I've seen some sellers advertising it as being from 1983, but I have not found any information that can confirm this. I was very curious to find out more about this talking Casio calculator, so as always, I kept my eye on eBay to see if one would show up at a decent price. Being somewhat rare, they are collectible, and some sellers ask high prices for them. Patience is a virtue, and soon enough I was rewarded with a listing for a TA-1000 in very good condition, boxed and with all its manuals for a very reasonable $44.99, and with shipping and tax, the total came to $57.76. Similar to the higher price I paid for my ML90, that seems a lot, though when you take into account its rarity and condition, plus what some other sellers are asking for them, I was very happy with this deal. Also, as with the ML90 segment, I'm not going to do the whole unboxing thing, as I'm probably going to do a more detailed standalone video for this model at some point in the future. Now, let's take a closer look at this unique talking Casio calculator and see what it has to offer. The TA-1000 comes in the typical Casio vinyl flip case, and as you can see, this case looks to be almost brand new. These cases were certainly very functional, as they did an excellent job of protecting the portable calculators when they were used as intended, no doubt stuffed in bags and pockets and taken all over the place. I'll take it out of its case so it's easy to see. Styling-wise, it continues with Casio's elegant silver early 80s Japanese hi-fi aesthetic, with clearly laid out buttons, controls, and display, and it certainly looks very stylish, even today. If we compare the TA-1000 with the calculators we've already looked at, the TA-1000 has a completely different design and doesn't appear to share any close similarities with them. Its overall layout is similar to the ML88, but it's considerably bigger. And out of all the Casios we've looked at, it has the largest display, again adding to the uniqueness of this model. Also of note, there is a little flip-out stand at the back, so you can prop this up on a table or nightstand for easier viewing. Let's now take a closer look at what this calculator has to offer. Similar to the ML88 and ML90, the TA-1000 has a 12-hour AM/PM clock that is always displayed when the calculator is not in use and when the mode selector is set to time. However, where the magic comes in is when we move the mode selector switch to voice and press the time button.
AM. Well, how about that?
Yes, the TA-1000 can speak the time to you. Isn't that amazing? It also tells you if it's AM or PM. Of course, there's more. We can press the date button and see what that does.
Tuesday, March 21st.
The TA-1000 speaks the day of the week, the month, and the current date, but not the year. It has a perpetual calendar, the same as the ML90 and ML88, with the same date hyphens used when displaying the year for 1901 to 1999, and with no hyphens if it's the year from 2000 to 2099.
Tuesday, March 21st.
Also different to the ML88 is the days of the week are in the LCD itself rather than screen printed onto the case, though it still uses an LCD marker point to indicate the current day. But strangely, it doesn't have a stopwatch or countdown timer that could be found in the ML90 and ML88 models. Unlike all the previous models, there is no musical calculator feature with the TA-1000, but the calculator speaks the numbers and the results.
1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6, 3, 2, 3, 9, 5, 3, 4, 7, 2.
Unfortunately, it does not speak the operations performed. It only gives a blip and displays the operation selected on the screen.
1, 2, 5, 4, 6.
And it only reads out the numbers individually when given the result of a calculation. No hundreds, thousands, or millions, though it does say if the result is a negative number by stating minus, and it also tells you when there is a decimal point in use.
8, 7, 5, 4, 2.12. Minus 7, 4, 9, 9, 6.12.
Now we move on to the other unique selling point of this calculator, the 6 different alarms that can be selected and also the hourly time signal. You have a choice of 6 alarms that can be set independently, each with a unique message. I guess the idea was to use this as an electronic personal scheduler, something that was quite forward-thinking in the early 80s or so. Rather than go through the setting and waiting for an alarm to sound, there is a demonstration mode that will speak all of the 6 alarms after speaking the date and time. Let's take a listen.
Tuesday, March 21st, 2:28 a.m. Alarm 1 off. It's time to wake up. Alarm 2 off. It's time to go out. Alarm 3 off. It's time now. Alarm 4 off. It's time for your appointment. Alarm 5 off. It's time for the reading. Alarm 6 off.
OMG.
And to finish demonstrating the voice features of the TA-1000, you can also set an hourly time signal of a ding-dong bell or a cuckoo. And if you switch it off, the TA-1000 lady tells you it's off.
Off.
And there you have the TA-1000 voice calculator from Casio. A fun and unique vintage calculator with some unusual features for its time. Maybe not of much use today when your average cell phone can do everything a TA-1000 can do, and do it using barely a fraction of their overall processing power. But in 1983 or so, having a talking calculator that could double up as a talking personal scheduler, that would certainly have made you the envy among technology enthusiasts.